Yeah, he blew his nipple off. It went in his hands, burned his hands.
And then his nipple went in his hands?
No. The electricity went in both hands, and he had 2 burns. And then it exited out his nipple and blew his nipple off and put him in AFib.
Yeah.
And then the question that we have
now my AFib story sucks.
Yeah.
I was putting on a drama play and I got stressed.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, you still got 2 nipples.
I do.
Yeah.
I got that.
Electricians have some great stories because they get burned bad.
One in a
it's
million
internal.
shot, Doc.
It's internal. It's usually never external.
No. Unless you have a nipple
It's like a
ring.
microwave.
Yeah.
You should almost get a protective nipple ring, but put it on the right. So the
Or use
electricity-
silicone.
Rubber.
Then it would, yeah, just a rubber one.
There you go.
You know,
just
well,
melt.
gold
I'm
is a
just
great
saying-
conductor.
You can
Why would you
lactate
put
still,
gold
so.
in?
Because you're trying to
Any
channel it
animal.
out of your body and
Yeah.
away
Can
from your
lactate.
liver.
Anything with
Well,
nipples.
there you go.
What's that from?
That's from
sacrifice
meat
a
ferrets.
nipple.
Yeah, because the liver
like
stores
that.
a lot of metallic, doesn't it?
Yeah, okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot of iron in there.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like science.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A lot of iron in beer or your nipples?
The liver.
Your liver.
Mine's really rusty. Kind of swollen.
Before we begin, it's that time. That's right. Sponsor mentions everybody. Doer is back. Doer creates the world's most comfortable pants. I'm not wearing mine tonight. Is anybody wearing their?
Yep.
No, I wore mine the other day.
David's probably a little bitter every time we talk
Every
about
day.
it.
Yeah.
I don't have any.
You came to the show too late for the Doers. We got to get you in on the Doer thing. Stretch performance denim and lifestyle apparel. Basically just good for everywhere, man. They're super comfortable. They've got a new spring line coming out. I feel like a fashion statement. It's a spring line, but I can't wait to actually see what's coming out. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
was
pretty
thinking
interesting.
about that. Well, we'll get into a section I know you're going to bring up because of the topic. There's
Okay.
a certain pro team. They got some dorky pants.
Yeah.
I think the only one that I'd wear like that would be a Doer.
If Doer made cycling shorts,
Yeah.
but they'd be legit. They'd be thick though.
It'll be for just kicking around,
Yeah.
for commuting.
Yeah,
There you
that'd
go.
be interesting. Denim shorts.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a lot.
I wouldn't bet. Nah, I bet it'd work though. Bet it'd work. Not too baggy though. So from bike lane to bedroom to an evening out, all in a single pair of pants. Stretch, great looking, stylish, even functional on the bike. Get your butt to shopdoer.com. Use the code Packfiller15. That's all one word. Packfiller and then 15 for your discount. You'll not be upset. Scratch Labs, everybody, always innovating, always improving. Scratch has been tweaking their chews recently to taste even better and contain only the purest of ingredients. They've always been really clean on that, but I guess they're going even more so. Fueling options galore, smooth tasting, and easy on the gut. Trust us, scratchlabs.com. Lastly, and once again, you, the listeners, patron program on the website officially launched, and we have listeners signing up to support the show. Cost a cup of coffee. I still think it's, whenever I say it sounds like Sarah McLachlan. You can keep the pack filler coming and be the instrumental part of the future upcoming programming content. No, I didn't do that just because that other group has done the crowdfunding thing. I was doing this a long time before them. You know what? I was podcasting before all those.
That's
Check
impulse
out
control.
the link at packfiller.com. When the support arrives, we build the content. So there we go. Let's do this. And I didn't say an F-bomb.
No.
You know, in the highlight reel of last week's show, should I have cut out the F-bomb? I mean, is that bad?
No.
Really?
Yeah,
Because it doesn't get flagged by, like, the social media companies or anything?
No.
No, there's a lot of people that swear on those platforms.
Really?
No. Oh, yeah.
Hey, nice shirt, by the way.
Hey, yeah, you too. A little blurry.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have my glasses on. So.
Everything's blurry.
It's always very.
Do you have one of these, David?
I don't know.
I do have some. We'll get you some after the show. Yeah. I do have some after the show.
Sorry.
Whoa, that's a
No
lot
pants,
word.
no shirt. You might as well get the fuck out of here.
Beer's free, though, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Pro Bike Racing is in full feast mode, and if you're listening to this, you may well want to admit to your cycling addiction. Welcome to Life on Two Wheels. Welcome to Packfiller Podcast. I'm Pat Bulger, live in the Rim Break Bar. We're live on YouTube, and the taps have been fully scrubbed and stick-free to avoid unnecessary beer spray. You're welcome. You know, these are things they don't teach you about when you're like going, you should get beer on tap, man. That'd be so cool. It's like, yeah, I will. It's like owning a house. You just think it's all perks, but then you realize somebody's
working
got
on
to
it.
clean the hot tub.
Every weekend there's something.
Yeah, it is. It's not fair. So let's see who's along for the ride, shall we? Gentlemen, the icebreaker for the evening. What was your first car and did you name it? And what is its current status? Where is it in today's world, society? Do you know where it is? So let's go for simple observation introductions tonight. Just simple, straightforward. He's the elder spokesman of the Packfiller. Perhaps we should just call him Gandalf.
I have no reference to that.
You don't know Gandalf?
No,
You
is that
seem like
Lord of the
Lord
Rings?
You
Yeah.
seem like a Tolkien guy.
You're just the
Wow.
he's not that thing.
I'm not into any fantasy or anything.
Apparently, there is a character in the Lord of the Rings, actually in The Hobbit, who goes by the name of Fatty Bulger. Yeah. So I catch
You're
any
saving
of you
that
guys call
self
me that.
that for you then.
Like,
Fatty
no
Bulger.
Star Wars
That's
either? No fantasy?
I like the very original one because I wasn't into sci-fi, and that was so unique in 1977 that I
was.
did like it.
Yeah.
The others were.
77.
Yeah, that's when it came out.
Yeah.
I was going
Dave
into
was
my
like-
freshman year in high school.
I wasn't even itching my daddy's pants in 1977. That's what these guys are all thinking. How are you, man?
Good.
Did I say Paul Maine? I meant to say Paul Maine.
Well,
Yeah. Talk to me about your first car. Did you name it? And if so, what was its name and where is it?
First car, it was a Mazda RX-2 rotary engine car.
Suckers
It was
fast.
super fast. It was dangerously fast. I worked as a farm boy for a long time and saved up. And my junior year in high school, I bought it. $850.
Nice.
wish it was that now.
Yeah. Well, these cars had it notorious for the engines to blow up. They were, yeah.
Okay.
But they were, when they were working, they were a lot of fun.
My dad had an RX-7 for a while.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, that was my dream car. That was out of reach.
Out of reach.
I think they were $4,000 brand new.
Farm Boy. Did you say As You Wish?
As You Wish, yeah.
Okay.
And I did name it. Mazda is a Japanese company.
Okay.
And my GP doc, when I was growing up, my mom used to work for, and he was a character. His name was Shigo Nishimura.
Okay.
So I called it Shigo.
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 Oh, very nice. And do you know where it is now?
No, but I still have pictures of it. It was my pride and joy.
It'll live on in our hearts.
Here's the crazy thing. No seat. Well, I had seat belts. We never used it. So my girlfriend, I had a pillow because they had bucket seats. You know, not bucket. Yeah, bucket seats. And so where that little, space in the middle.
Yeah.
So she could sit next to me.
Where the emergency brake
Yeah, you know
was.
how small those cars are. Not even
Yeah.
6 feet wide. Like she was too far away. That's how stupid you are in high
She
school.
sat on a pillow. In between
Yeah, so
the
she'd
two
be
seats.
right next to me. Right next to the gear shift,
See, it was a stick,
I
too.
was-
Yeah.
Oh,
say,
yeah.
how'd you shift?
There was no... Yeah.
How did you shift? Did she have to move her knee at a
No.
specific point in time?
It was she's sitting far back
Yeah.
enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
That's a good one. I don't know if we can top that. Second of all, he's sporting the best beard of the Packfiller. Sorry, Jackson. This is pretty damn good.
It's going
pretty
away
good.
tomorrow.
Is it? Wow.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
No, that's my man beard voice.
I look 10.
Yeah. Mr. David Waples, how are you, Chief?
Doing very well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Got a car story?
Yeah, I loved my first car. I had a
Should I play some sad music or something?
I had a 1966 Volvo that I also bought.
That
It
is
was a Volvo
nice.
122 is a coupe. Saved up one summer working construction, bought it for $850. Now this was in 2011
Wow.
or 12.
Yeah.
So very far after you, but I mean that's part of the reason I bought it is because it's the only thing you can get for $850.
Those things will go
It's-
forever.
It was a killer car. I mean, I had it right up until med school, and then I just couldn't keep it up faster than it was decaying. So sold it to a nice guy in Idaho, and actually my mom just sent me his address the other day because I've always said I want to buy it back. He was a metal shop worker, so he was saying he was going to fix the body work that I couldn't do.
Sure.
So maybe someday I'll buy it
Oh,
back.
that'd be
but,
cool.
Now it looks like something from a Mad Max movie or
Yeah.
something like that.
I mean, it'd be even cooler, yeah.
Did it have a name?
It did, Clyde.
Clyde.
I always thought pictured myself because it had these really high, the metal was really high and the windows were really small, so I kind of just imagined myself.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Ah.
I don't know if that was
Riddled
good.
with bullets.
Yeah. pretty
Meeting your
much.
early demise. Right.
Yeah.
Very good. With your lady sitting in between the middle
Yeah.
of you two.
That's
It's
right.
like, see, we're tying
Mhm.
it all together. Third, these are simple observations. Third, he's young and he's nice. Mr. Jackson Bulger.
Wow.
How are you? Except for the whole beard thing. Then he
Yeah, apparently it's a shitty beard.
I didn't say shitty. I didn't say best, though.
Wow. Well,
It's a good beard, Jackson.
thanks.
You
I
just,
needed
your
that.
stash
It's
is
the
a little
second best.
thinner.
Well, yeah.
room
It's
for
the
growth.
second best in this room.
Yeah. So
is.
that
Without
makes
a
it
doubt.
shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just means there's
Screw
a
you.
growth opportunity on your face.
So I'm never gonna go on this podcast again now.
This is it.
Well,
We broke him.
yeah, I'm good. My first car is sitting out front of this house right now. Her name is Sheila. She has had a cracked windshield since 2014.
But it's a low crack. It's not in your line of sight, right?
Right. So it's legal.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've been through a lot.
She is a...
Sheila. She's a Subaru.
Yeah.
She's a Subaru 2012 Subaru Outback.
She's a Sheila.
Yeah.
Oh, Sheila.
Yep. I have.
Oh, Shayla.
Wow, really old music references that everybody else is like going, what the hell are they talking about?
There's a story of. I don't know if that's a now type of story, but it's a car that's been with me since sophomore year in college, and so 4 or 5 years.
And the seats are disgusting.
Okay, well, we got to talk about okay, I'll tell the
seats are
story. I'll tell the
disgusting.
story. So, one day I got I thought I was going to get COVID.
This isn't like a blacklight story, I promise.
No.
Well, okay, no, not all the way. And so one day we are getting a COVID test. This was early days of COVID, and I had to pee really bad, but there was no place to pee. And so I'm like, I have a cup in the back seat. And so I got in the back seat, and the cup broke.
What? Shoot.
And so, mind you, the seat's been cleaned thoroughly in the back. But just to let you all know,
There's no way to get it out of the phone.
yeah.
I'm not riding in the backseat of that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I thought that would be a pretty funny story to
It
tell
is.
about good old Sheila.
Well,
I've sat in the back of that
urine
car.
is sterile, so it's not like,
Right, it's extra clean now, and it's like there's been a McDonald's cup that's melted in the back, like cup holder, so it's
bad.
like crusty a little.
And who the hell is with Subaru making a Subaru with
seats.
white interior? It's like cream. Well,
Right.
it was cream, but now it's
yellow.
Now it's a little
urine
yellow.
yellow.
And it's a natural thing. It's sterile, and I like the taste.
Of urine?
That's a movie.
It's a
quote.
dodgeball quote. It's a dodgeball
quote.
Okay,
Dodgeball
all
quote.
right.
Okay, once
a
again,
lot.
simple observational introductions. Me, I'm broken. Mentally and physically. I'm Pat Bulger in my car. It was a VW Beetle, 1974 Super Beetle.
Nice.
And I named it Lenny. It was yellow, so I called it Lenny the Lemon. And it was
I remember that
it
car.
was a good car. It was a good car.
Yeah.
And it died twice. First time Jack was in the car with me. We were outside of Fort Collins, Colorado, and we're cruising along. Every time I was on the highway in that thing, we had bikes on the roof, and I just floored it everywhere. I mean, because the car, it maxed out at like 68 miles an hour. That's what the
It was a
downhill
Super
and a
Beetle?
tailwind. Yeah.
So they had the biggest motor that they put in this.
Yeah, I don't. 68 miles an hour. And at one point, we're cruising along, and the cassette player is playing something, probably Depeche Mode or something like that. In Excess. I was big into the Australian bands though. In Excess, Midnight Oil, yeah, stuff like that. And I'm going, Jack, it must be really bad, the wind out here. Well, I mean, it was Fort Collins, Colorado. I said, something's going wrong. The car won't go very fast. And he said, well, I don't know what's going on. So I turned down the music, and we hear this wham, 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 wham. I threw a rod in the motor, and we were stuck in Castle Rock for about 12 hours while we waited for a car to get us back. And then my dad had it fully restored. Like, took it to this place in Spokane called Born Again Bugs. Fully restored. Probably put $2,000 into the car to get it. I mean, it was gorgeous. New paint job, everything like that. I ran a red light, and the car hit me, and I totaled it. Yeah, my head went through the driver's side window. When the car hit me, I was
crazy.
bam right through it. But the bike stayed on the roof rack, and it was one of those gold Yakima racks back in the day. Yeah,
They didn't have the plastic coating. They were
it was
like
just gold bars. They were really cool. But yeah, and, last thing I remember in that accident was my French coach at the time going, "Whoa, red!" And that was it.
Eric Kamad was with you.
Eric was with me. Yeah, each time I did something stupid in my car, I had a passenger.
See, now I feel embarrassed. You guys just like your cars died or they crashed, and and pissed in my car. I don't like the sound of that.
I like your story better, though.
I appreciate that.
I
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody should know Sam's first car had like those lights under it, the neon lights.
No
and
way.
they were in the car too, and he would have them like go into the subwoofer. And
Oh,
a huge
man.
subwoofer, and it was like, and the lights would like flash and like change colors. Yeah,
I knew he had that in him.
My God.
Yeah,
I knew he
now
did.
I know.
Yep.
what a
Yeah.
joke! Am I right?
No
What a
kidding.
loser.
No doubt.
Sam's not here tonight, everybody, in case you're wondering. How are you guys? I always ask the training thing, but I don't want to. How are you guys feeling in terms of your fitness plan? Are you on target? Are you ahead? Are you behind? Who's cruising right about where they want to be? Anybody? Paul? No.
Nope.
You, Mr. Training Camp?
No, I'm still training, but I mean, when I was down at Palm Desert and came back, I mean, I lost a lot of weight, and
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty good. And then we got some shite weather, and
Oh,
so it was
God.
all indoor training, no matter how hard. Like this weekend, I had 2 plus hours, training rides, but it's not the same. It's not
You
even
did over 4 hours of indoor training. this week.
on Saturday and Sunday. So.
Jeez.
But I mean, I have to because I'm
Yeah.
old and crusty, and
Yeah.
my metabolism is like I have to wake it up. It's like I'm like, what? All right.
Well, okay, I guess I'll shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Can you give me a minute?
So, where are you in terms of where you would like to be this time of year? Are you
Probably-
kind of close?
I would say I'm 50% behind where I would like
Wow.
to be. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But I've got a plan. I've got a plan. The weather's cracking. It looks like.
It is.
Yeah. So I've got some motor pacing involved. I've got, yeah.
Very nice. How about you two? Anybody want to go next? How's it going, gentlemen? You don't have a working bike yet, do you?
Well, no, I still have my other bike.
Oh,
It
yeah,
just,
okay.
it was a little dented on the trainer, which is just what I've been doing is riding the trainer. But I mean, I think for March, I'm where I would mostly. I mean, it'd be nice to ride outside.
Yeah.
But Sam's in Hawaii, and I'm gonna kick his ass when he comes back. So like this weekend, I had so much motivation. I have never ridden more than an hour on a trainer, and I did it twice this weekend,
Wow.
just because.
Just because of your brother.
He's
And how much you hate it.
He's gonna look so dumb with that tan
Yeah.
falling off of my wheel.
Stay tuned for more
Yeah.
in the Wavels feud that we have ongoing. It's
Yeah.
like therapy.
Yeah.
Line 2. Jackson, how are you sitting?
So I took all of last week off
Yeah.
for some personal stuff, and I was worried about how that would, handle. And so I got on yesterday and did a pretty hard Zwift workout where it was at FTP and then just a little bit above. And I was happy with how things were going.
Nice.
Not being able to ride outside. I feel like we rode outside more last year by this time.
We
I think
might
we did.
have.
We
Yeah.
did. May was shite, but
Right.
yeah, that's the one that was bad. But yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and so it's hard to really get like a base as to how things are going.
Yeah.
And so I mean, yesterday I saw progress because in December I couldn't do stuff like that. So, I guess I'm where I want to be. It's
Yeah.
just I'll gauge it on how the outdoor time will go. So yeah.
I've been lifting. And I'm not, I'm not woe is me
16
or anything
ounces?
like yes. No, I've been doing a lot of derby stuff, a lot of squats, a lot of stuff with kettlebells and stuff like that. Because I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I might as well get my core and my back and all that kind of stuff working. And I think I said this last week, I can do 30 to 45 seconds of those type of workout things and workout things. Really well spoken. And I'm doing a lot of squats and lunges and stuff like that, but only in short bursts. Yesterday I got on, and I know it's not the apocalypse, everybody, don't panic. But yesterday I got on we have a treadmill, and I just got on it at a pretty brisk walking pace, and not super fast, like just under 4 miles an hour, just boom, 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 and I felt really good the whole time, and halfway through this walk, I spent about 35 minutes. That was it on it, and my heart was up, but it wasn't like feeling like when I would get on Zwift and immediately go into oxygen debt kind of a thing. And I don't know if that's necessarily a thing I should be doing anyway until I get all this dialed in. But I was thinking to myself, I should bring my rollers up and hop on those because it's so little resistance that I could just kind of let the legs go. And I wonder if that would have the same feeling as what it felt on the treadmill. So I don't know. I might try that this weekend.
Would you be worried? Well, I guess with the amount of experience that you have on those, you don't really worry about falling.
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you mean like falling, hitting a table, and bleeding out in my workout room?
Well, it does.
I had
to
make it a little bit extreme and potentially funny. So
yeah, but I mean, like for someone like me, like there's a possibility to fall.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I mean, I rode rollers for so long.
That's what I
know, and it'd probably take me a couple seconds of holding on to something just to get back to it. But I think might be a good way to just get a little time letting the legs flop around. I'm a little over a week away from the cardio version, which it doesn't sound as cool as the ablation. The ablation just makes it sound like, some sort of a laser beam gun is involved. It's like, charge the ablation, shoot the Martians with the ablation. But so that's next week, and I'm looking forward to that. You told me I get the good Michael Jackson drugs.
They might give you the good propofol.
Yeah, right on, man.
Or you could ask them for the Special K.
What's that?
Ketamine.
Oh, I don't even know what that is. I've heard of it, but I've heard
some people use it for
Isn't it like
nefarious reasons.
Some people use it on Tuesdays just to get through the day, kind of a thing like that. Which not
something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a horse drink.
Wow.
That's like the you hear of it as like a horse tranquilizer, but it's not. I mean, we use it all the time in medicine, like the OR and the ER.
Wow.
Only for the horse-shaped people, though.
Yeah. My face isn't
you might
long
be on
enough.
the cusp.
My face isn't long enough.
Yeah.
You got a horse ass.
I'm chomping at the bit. No, I can't wait to get done. I honestly want to just like wake up and go like, I want to push the car home.
That'd be great.
Just to be like,
I don't know if he's going to feel like that.
Well, I'm walking around daily at about 40%.
You'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, and I don't expect it to last. I mean, my negative mentality is going like, I'm going to get this. It's going to last me like 3 weeks, and some shit's going to happen again, and then they're going to schedule the next thing, and then
the zapping of the Martians in your heart.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, and if that's the process, that's the process. I just don't want to wait. I'm tired. I don't like feeling like poo.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be like 60 degrees outside right now.
It could.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah.
I am still planning without you guys. Apparently, my spring break camping trip. I'm going someplace in the 60s, and I'm just gonna go ride like 50, 60 miles a day.
When is spring break?
First week April.
Oh.
So
we were all gonna go someplace and.
So the 9th would
Childhood.
be your last. You'd go back on the 10th. Is that it?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think we were planning that weekend, so you'd be going back.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know.
Paris-Roubaix on the.
Yeah, exactly. That would be kind of funny. All of us sitting in the same place watching Paris-Roubaix.
On our little iPads.
No, we could figure out a way to pair it. And everybody just take a moment to pause and flip the bird to Mr. Sam Waples, who's in Hawaii riding his bike right now.
Happily.
Eat shit, Sam. We hate you for that. I talked about all that, talked about that. Hey, so I guess we're just going straight to the news. Holy moly, because there's a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, LMN.
OP.
OP.
I'm teaching the alphabet.
Clothing brand, too.
Oh, yeah?
If you were cool in the 80s,
Yeah.
you had OP. Ocean Pacific. Brought to you by our friends at Athletic Brewing. Be sure to check out all the new flavors at Athletic. It continues to grow and offer and innovate. NA Revolution is here. Athletic is leading the charge, just like Mel Gibson in The Patriot. The big flag just going, rah, except all the anti-Semitism. Athletic doesn't have that. They're cool. They're not jerks.
So he's more of Braveheart.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's
freedom.
What they're like.
Yeah,
freedom.
that's a better reference. I just I immediately when I thought about it, I thought of Mel running with the United States flag. You know. It was, Okay, I screwed up. A few races have happened and are happening. Let's start at the top, you guys. Strada Bianca. Who caught it this weekend? I'm asking in particular because you did see it. Okay,
Well,
you caught it.
I caught the highlights.
You caught the highlight.
Oh,
No, that's
yeah.
good. Both men's and women's.
Yes, sir.
Just men's.
Just men's.
Giddy
That's
up.
fine. No, that's fine.
Yeah, giddy up.
Giddy up.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if anybody saw that moment. Let's go with that. Let's just go reflections, reactions, and thoughts. Anybody got something they want to take away from the women's race?
Pretty dominant in terms of one specific team.
SD Works is. I think they just realized it's like, if we all team up, we can kick the shit out of everybody. And it's a tactical change. I don't know if it is a tactical change or if it's just that everything worked in terms of preparation for that team this year, because holy crap, they're firing on all cylinders.
Well, Paul, you probably would know who was sitting in the DS's seat.
I don't know if Anna Vanderbregen is, but she is a DS. I think so. I don't know, maybe not, but she's
not a bad leader.
Yeah. Well, they had a little bit of an issue with the team.
They did. Within is it having to do with that sprint?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you hear anything? Because I was going to ask if that was, I loved the fact that it was somewhat more exciting than two people doing Rochambeau before they come across the line.
I liked the sprint.
Yeah, but it was like
the way I heard it, and I don't know. I mean, I've listened to several podcasts trying to figure out what went on. First of all,
what's a podcast?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway.
But somebody just kind of flipped it to me, and I listened.
On an iPod.
Yeah, on an iPod. And I've downloaded my podcast on an iPod.
It's an MP3.
So, to me, it's like, the elephant. We haven't even mentioned Faulkner, how well she rode.
Unbelievable ride.
Except, what do you think? Did you guys see her little move towards the end when Valerie?
Oh, she
Do you think that was intentional?
I think so.
Because for those of you who are not up to speed with what was going on, Kristen Faulkner riding for Jayco they caught her with less than a K, probably.
They're going up the steep
800 meters to go, basically, and they're going up that very steep climb, and from my perspective, it looked like she just kind of swerved and was kind of getting out of the way, or just absolutely gassed from that long breakaway. And who was it?
It was
Jimmy Vollering.
Yeah.
Vollering, who was caught on the inside of her.
Yeah, she was trying to go. So Kopecky went to the left of her, and to the right, Vollering went towards the fence. And that's when Faulkner started moving over. And Demi hit her on the rear end, and she threw her elbow out. And Vollering actually hit her engagement ring or a wedding ring onto the fence.
Yeah.
And she had to back off and come back. So I thought that was kind of interesting. That
so
was
you're
kind of
thinking it was nefarious, or do you think it was
when
just
the elbow
a first
goes out a
jerk
little
reaction?
bit?
Yeah.
When you get touched and then you stick your elbow out, and she moved from left to right once they started coming.
Okay.
So, but I'm going up that steep climb, an oxygen debt, and you just got caught.
Yeah.
You maybe originally she went over, but probably thought I can't move. Whatever. I don't know. But
so what's the story behind the sprint then?
Kopecky won last week, right?
Yeah.
And so
Kopecky won last year.
And last year,
race.
and she won Omloop.
Yeah.
So it sounded like Vollering thought that she was going to be gifted because, it's her turn type of thing.
Yeah.
And actually, Kopecky bridged up to her when Vollering went to get to, she broke away and trying to catch Faulkner. And then, her teammate chased her down, which is fine. They worked together. That type of thing. She said she was surprised.
Mildly douchey.
That whole chasing team thing is
sounds like a Waples
depends.
Brothers thing.
Yeah. And if it's an order by the if it's an order by the DS, I think that's okay. But it didn't sound like it when Vollering was like
Uh-oh.
recapping everything. She's like, next thing I know, there's Kopecky next to me, and thought, okay, and look back, no one else is there. So then they were kind of sharing the load and everything. So it didn't sound like there was any verbal or anything, but I think Vollering thought it was going to be hers, and
Oh boy.
Kopecky kind of cut her off and tried to out sprint her, and
Wonder if there was some discussion.
yeah, I think afterwards there was quite a bit. And if you look at the finish line, they stayed apart from each other. They didn't even make eye contact. So
Oh boy.
yeah,
Trouble in paradise.
yeah.
I will say.
And on the men's side, they had a team
did.
issue too.
Yeah.
Which team is the men's side?
Jumbo Visma.
Yeah,
Attila
Well, there's a
Valter.
Jumbo Visma men's team though.
Oh, we're saying on
And
the
the
men's
men's-
side
on the men's
there was
race.
also this
men's
as
race
well.
they had a team issue
Yeah.
also.
Oh yeah. Okay, jump to it. Well,
Valter.
the
Yeah,
horse on
you
the
know
course
that.
we do have to mention. The
Oh,
horse
yeah,
on
yeah.
the horse
Yeah.
on the horse, of course.
And did you catch? I think you can find something on YouTube where Vollering's like screams.
Yeah.
He's like, "Holy cow!" And that poor horse had, her lead was like
Yeah,
between the
bouncing
legs
underneath
and
her,
ended
yeah.
up falling down. But the
Oh,
horse is
yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
horse is
Oh
okay.
God.
I will say, I did predict this race.
Did you call?
I
it?
did
I
pick
called
Demi Vollering.
Vollering, same here.
Yep.
Vollering, and I had Kopecky.
And then
And but
the results here. I won't go through.
No.
I'll
And
take your
then-
word for it.
on the men's side, I'm pretty sure some other smart person also picked the winner.
yeah,
I think I picked Big Cock too.
Yeah, but I picked both.
But there's only one winner, Jackson.
And it's me.
Men and women.
Oh, you picked the winner of both races.
Uh-huh.
I think I picked Kopecky.
I did.
Well,
That's
not
why she
right.
sprinted. That's why she sprinted. She's
Yeah.
like, Pat, pick me.
Yeah.
And I want him to believe
No,
that he can
She
pick.
created chaos because you're a jinxer.
I know. That's but that's what she was fighting for. She wanted to break the jinx.
Oh,
She wanted to help
but
me
no,
out.
no, she created chaos
Yeah,
amongst
she
the
did.
team.
She did.
Yeah. Way to go.
Okay, so talk the men's edition. Anybody surprised by Tom Pidcock winning?
A little. Yeah, I think
Really?
in the way he won.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, I think that it was extremely impressive. It was a very Tadej Pogačar almost,
Very similar style
Yeah.
of an attack.
but in such a different way at the same time. It was. I mean, we saw Tom Pidcock flying down that California, valley?
Yeah. And his descending skills came in.
They
to
paid
play.
off,
Scared
yeah.
the shit out of me.
But he is what we thought Alaphilippe and Sagan can do.
Yeah.
Tom Pidcock is like on a level that I have never seen before, and that is ultimately what won him the race.
Yeah.
But I also found it extremely exciting because what I complained about last year in the classics was how at some point you'd be like, oh well, he's broken away, it's over. Like when Dylan Van Baal won last weekend.
Yeah.
It was like, oh well, he's got 40 seconds, this is over.
Yeah.
But it kept getting closer and it kept going away and it
Yeah.
kept getting closer and it kept going away. And it was interesting to see the chasers play that cat and mouse game and give Pidcock essentially the win.
Yeah.
But I think also team tactics on Jumbo Visma kind of went, as we say on the show, tits up.
What was with the mentality of that move of chasing? I mean,
Well, I don't know.
I understand heat of the moment concepts, but that was just
so you're talking about
Tish Benut.
oh Tish
Was it?
Tish, it was Tish Benut and his teammate is the
Attila Valter.
Hungarian, yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's his name?
Valter.
Yeah, Valter, that's right. Valter used to race for, this is his first year with Jumbo. He was with Groupama last year, or the last 3 years. And so
French teams it's free for all anyway. So never
yeah.
mind. We're
So
fine.
his at first he didn't really kind of like played it off, but later on he said that that's the first time he's ever raced with Benot, and so he didn't know what he was doing is right, but he chased him down when Benot took off, and he's won this race before, and he knew where the key parts in the climb was.
Yeah.
And that's probably why, that's why you see him throw up his hand and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, dude. But I think for his defense, on Valter's defense, is that, Quinn Simmons, when Benot went,
Yeah.
Quinn Simmons tried to chase and he blew himself up, and I
Yeah.
can't remember who else was with him, and it wasn't Costa, because Costa I think was with Benoit. But
Yeah.
anyway, he looked like he was shot, so he thought he could bridge, and he did have a gap, but still they gave him a carrot to chase him down. So, and a couple of times, like when they got within about 7 seconds on I think the penultimate climb or maybe the last dirt climb, he didn't help, and then he tried to bridge, this being Volter again.
Yeah.
And, when he could have been working together. And Mohoric, who was in that group, that's who it was, the guy later on
Right.
that I was talking about. Mohoric said it was his fault that they never caught him, because they were within 7 to 6 seconds at that point in time. And then he sits up and everybody's like, well, we just blew our gasket trying to chase you down.
Yeah.
So
I think
Benoit was not happy.
Yeah. I think if Mohoric kept going, I wonder if he would have caught Pidcock.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like he was, none of them were fresh, but it seemed like he or Rui Costa, who I was excited to see at the front, but also I wish he gave a little more.
Rui didn't have anything, I think, to give more, though.
It seemed like he
It
did, though,
looked
because
like-
he sat on the wheels the whole race.
That's
He's,
what I mean,
he's
though.
got a huge reputation of being a wheel sucker.
Really?
Yeah, that is his
Yeah,
style.
and that's what the commentators kept saying. He's not. He didn't need to work.
Yeah.
But people
Yeah.
were getting frustrated by it, and it seemed like because he
Put
got
something
second.
in. No, he got fourth.
Oh, he got fourth, but it's still like I wonder if Mohoric and Costa could have worked together
Yeah.
and they would have gotten somewhere. But as we now know, he is,
fourth.
known for that.
Yeah. I love that race. I love that
It
race.
is a good
It's my
race.
favorite one.
Single day races are just hard.
You
to
know,
beat.
it was so funny with the text exchanges between you guys, talking about, and I'm going to switch gears to Paris-Nice and Tirreno Adriatico, but it's this time of year. I almost am. I feel angry about stage races because it's like I just want my one day
Right.
one day payoffs, because there's so much more in the line. There's not There's not the, I'm not going to win it today, so I'm going to sit up and wait for tomorrow or play the tactical game and stuff like that. I love that race. It is one of the most enjoyable ones for me in the year. And I know I'm committing a cardinal sin by comparing it in the same bracket as a Flanders and a Roubaix. But I think it's a great race. I just love watching it.
Well, it's to me,
Beautiful country, too. Beautiful
Yeah.
country.
and I get what you're saying. To me, like it causes excitement, like those type of races, because it is to me the biggest race that we've had so far. I mean, I know people will probably say, Omloop was a pretty big one, or Kurna was a big one, but I think that Strada Bianca draws this like excitement that those
Yeah.
other races don't. But then on another level, it's like I will not watch a stage race right now. That's what I
You're
have
not
such-
watching Paris-Nice in
I'm
Tirreno?
I'm getting like highlights
Oh,
and
yeah.
social media feeds of it, but it's like until like the Dauphiné, I think that's when I'm going to begin
Oh, really?
watching things, just because
Really?
it's like right now I do, like you said, I
Wait.
get so engrossed.
You're not going to watch the Zero?
Well, I guess I forget about that, but like, but it's hard because you get so engrossed in like the excitement of a one day, and then you've got to switch your mind, like your headspace to like a,
Yeah.
I gotta wait for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These transition stages or shit like that. But,
Yeah.
And I think I asked this last week, but do you guys think that if Strada Bianca was later in the year, it wouldn't have the amount of mystique that it has?
I think so, because I think it is it's like the first one. It's almost like the carrot,
Yeah.
the carrot on the stick.
Yeah.
And I think it has created that sense. Obviously you guys can argue this, but since COVID happened, that was the first one we got in 2020.
Yeah.
Strada Bianca, I mean, I remember, I don't think they had Omloop and Kurna Brussels Kurna. I don't know if they made it. And so I remember in 2020 being like, oh my God, like Strada Bianca's actually coming now. And
And it was
like
hot
August.
that day too.
Yeah.
It was-
Yeah.
I think that races make themselves, but I think classics and one days in the beginning of the year they kind of need to stay grouped together. Now, there's San Sebastian and there's Lombardia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So those are great, but they don't really carry the punch. You
Yeah.
know, like right now, just the one day classic is just this is like giant rush, and then
Yeah.
it's. I think it's well placed. I think it's
I mean, I even get excited this time of year about like stuff like Trobro Leon and
Yeah.
and Le Samin. All these races I had no idea even existed. And it's like, oh, it's been running for 48 years. I'm like, sure, okay, thank you, GCN. You know, it's nice to be able to catch these. To unfortunately shift gears, is there one of the two stage races you're watching more than the other, Torrento or Paris-Nice, or are you watching, Paul, you're watching both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I shoot Paris-Nice on the big screen, and then I watch on my phone Torrento because I don't have the VPN on my phone. Okay. So then that's the only way I can do it.
You can, get it on your phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I might do that. Anyway, that's what I've been watching both. It's kind of interesting to see the strategy in Paris-Nice with Tade. Seems to be full gas, and he's goofing around, like grabbing those extra, sprints for seconds, and sticking his tongue out. He really does have a good time.
But do you? I'm going to ask you both of you other guys the same question. But with him going for those early sprints, do you think that was a conscious decision, knowing what the team time trial was today?
Yeah,
because that he knew that his team was going to lose time in that TTT, and those 12 seconds helped because right now he's at 14 seconds off the lead. Mm-hmm. He is 11 seconds behind Jonas Vingegaard. Mm-hmm. So.
Now tomorrow, go ahead.
Yeah. I actually watched the Paris-Nice this morning because I was up early and on the bike.
Yeah,
thinking about kicking Sam's ass.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Nothing like a grudge match to keep things going. I mean, it got Rocky through like 8 movies. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I sat there on my bike and watched it, and it did seem very intentional, going for those sprints, just to buy time. I mean, he knew he wasn't going to win the end of the race, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was 2 seconds down prior to that. Yeah. So I think it was intentional.
To me, I was thinking like, God, he's just going for it. He's just going to crush this. And I didn't even think about this time trial today and how, thinking ahead of time going, no offense, guys, but Jumbo-Visma's probably going to kick our ass. So I got to go get some time before or it's over. And so that was, an interesting tactical move if that was the thing. And you're saying, there's probably a good chance there's a brilliant guy in the car, and
I think the question is, what do the rest of the stages look like? Like tomorrow, for instance, is tomorrow a transitional stage, or
tomorrow on Paris-Nice there is a climb at the final climb. It's a category 1.
Okay, and because I don't think there's a lot to separate them in terms of
4. Come on. I mean, I can climb a category 4.
But I don't think there's a lot to separate them in terms of climbing ability one-on-one.
Yeah.
And so I think that Tade knows if they're mano a mano at the end, he'll win the sprint. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is what will happen every time. And it's not because I have some favoritism towards him. I kind of do. Yeah. But it's also, he is just more of that explosive rider than Jonas is.
Has anybody been paying? You guys tended to stray towards Paris-Nice more than Trento Adriatico. Is that intentionally? Are you guys watching that one with more interest because of the fact that it is these two GC legends, or are you just watching both, one over the other, or both kinda, or is there one you prefer? I always sit down in the mornings and I watch Paris-Nice first. I have been. I don't know why. It's just like that's the one I queue up. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'll watch Torrento. And sometimes I might run out of time and I kind of zip through because I look at what the stage is. For example, the TT today, I can't sit and watch an entire time trial. I can't do it. Now, I was interested because of this format change of the time trial where it is each individual rider's getting an established time. Mm-hmm. And that made a really interesting dynamic. I didn't hate it, but I have to admit, usually I'll fast forward through. Torrento, it looked to me like I'll go through it and I'll go like, okay, there's a break. Oh, I don't recognize the jerseys. Fast forward a little bit. Oh, it's now half minute, and then we go from there. And if it's a sprint stage, I'm gonna go, okay, let's get to the end and watch that there. So, is there one you guys prefer over the other, or is it just you're just watching bike racing to watch bike racing?
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think for me, for every single race, it depends on who's riding.
Sure.
If I don't care about the riders in the race, I probably won't show that big of an interest. So I think that's why I would prefer, at this moment, Paris-Nice, which last year it was opposite because there were more riders riding in Trento Adriatico. But now, because I want to see what their form is like early season, Jonas and Tade, and it's a good preview as to what their battle later on will be like.
And the Wout van Aert, Mathieu van der Poel thing hasn't paid off yet. Wout van Aert does not look like he's feeling good.
No, I mean, he
looks
was
like he's
sick
as a
for,
dog.
he has been sick, and he's taking it easy. And I think, getting back to your question, I've paid more attention to Paris-Nice because it started on Sunday.
Yeah.
And yesterday
Maybe
was the
that's
first
why.
day
Yeah.
of Torino. So, and not only that, I think this year a lot of riders are going to Torino to using his prep for the classics.
Yeah.
So, so it doesn't. I mean, the sprints have been kind of interesting. That's about it. There've been flat sprint stages. They had the TT, I guess, and then they had the sprint. So really, not anything has really gone off that's gonna kind of capture you. I mean, so.
Is Primož Roglič just kind of like the stepchild of Jumbo-Visma now? They're just like going, you just go over there and you have a good time, buddy.
He was a late entry, though.
Was he?
Yeah, they brought him in. The way I understand it, that it was just like he wasn't on the start list beginning of the week, and then all of a sudden there he is. So
okay.
I grabbed the last 10K this morning just to watch Peter.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
It looked like he was going to at least be in the top 10. He wasn't.
He hit the gas, and you saw him just do like okay, let's go. Oh, I can't do that anymore. And I don't mean that to sound as depressing as it is, but he looks like he put about 8 or 10 pedal strokes in, and then just went nope.
Yeah.
And just let off the gas. So I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore.
It's heartbreaking.
it was kind of hard to watch him fall back pretty early at Strada.
Yeah.
And not in Colonel Brussels Kerna, which I was happy about.
He was there. Yeah.
But that's because it was
Pretty
a
flat.
little flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, speaking of these races, there's been something that came to note during the viewing of these first stages. And with that observation in mind, I am going to take us to the topic for tonight's show. Brought to us by our friends at Perry Street Brewing. Right to the heart of the great potential location for a crit. Perry Street Brewing offers a brilliant variety of beer, food, and personality. Stop by today and tell them we sent you. Tonight's topic is our yearly fashion discussion. Fashion or fast, I'm calling it. We're seeing a lot of trends in equipment, clothing, and accessories designed to make a rider more efficient. I'm looking at the
I know.
post. From tacos, leg warmers to chain wax, all is meant for marginal gains, and I hate those two words together. Brailsford put those words together, and he ruined it for the rest of us.
It's pretty played out.
Yeah. Several at the expense of plain old common sense. Tonight, I'm going to pose the panel multiple trends, technological movements, and ideas, and each will praise. We can praise or poo-poo depending upon your sense, your lack of sense, or your taste, or lack of taste. Gentlemen, let's start with the big ones. The elephant in the room, quite unfortunately, in some cases, literally. Time trial helmets. From the old days of a simple plastic shell, I remember seeing Rebecca Twigg in a San Rancho plastic shell, and I thought it was the coolest looking thing. I mean, Rebecca Twigg could have had Tupperware on her head, and I probably would have thought it was great. To today's head sock, which we have on our post for today, to the Uno X alien landing on their heads, and a lot of things with minimal vents. So talk to me about aero helmets and what is acceptable. First off, who in this room owns a truly aero helmet?
Are we talking like you?
That's what my road helmet is.
But it's not an aero, like a time trial
yeah.
helmet. Yeah,
We're talking time
trial helmet.
Okay, you wouldn't go on like your after work ride.
not unless you were sleeveless with arm warmers.
Okay, all right.
And you ruined a perfectly good ride with a swim and a run.
Yeah. I do not own one of those.
You don't own one? Paul, you own one?
I do. And I've had it for about 4 years,
Yeah.
and I've used it twice.
Have
4
you?
years? You bought one 4 years ago?
Yeah, I've got a TT bike
Okay,
and stuff.
then
That was the
Denver,
whole intention.
Much longer than that.
Yeah. He's got and
it's probably not even in fashion because it's the old Giro that came down over your ears and it's a little,
yeah.
and people are probably laughing at me because that's not Aero anymore. Oh, it wasn't, I don't know. Like all of a sudden Aero stops. No, you got to have a sock on your head.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I don't own one. And it's just because I probably would own one if there were time trial series or something like that. If I was really into that sort of thing, maybe. But I don't. We don't have time trials around here anymore. So talk to me about what would you wear? How far would you go? I'm looking at that picture and it's just
terrible.
Is it that much fast? I mean, I understand there is speed over just good taste. Is there?
I will say, who would have thought the POC ones are the least terrible looking?
POC ones look like a Mario Kart character.
Yes, but they don't have a sock and they're not that big.
And yeah,
it's way more like sized down.
Yeah.
And I miss that because what we have here on our screen behind me is the specialized ones are really bad, and I was really surprised when they first came out. So would I ever wear one? I think I would wear the POC one because it's small enough, but
Are you talking about the POC, the one that comes over your
Not-
shoulders?
yeah,
Not
it kind of
that
comes
long
down
one.
off to the side.
the one that they have in Tirreno Adriatico.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Or not in Perry Nice today.
Uh-huh.
It's much smaller, lower profile. It's not over the, Oh, are you
You're
looking
almost
for it on
there.
that?
that's the Uno X.
Oh yeah, that's awful.
They can't really see it too well, but yeah.
Yeah, I can maybe try
So
and zoom
speaking
out
of helmets,
a little bit.
interesting. So Trek Segafredo is got Bontrager's their sponsor, and
Looks like a POC helmet.
the one that their leader, gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
That crossed the line. He had a POC.
Yeah.
He had that old fashioned POC
No
arrow.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
And I'm like, what the heck? And everybody had from a different
bond
helmet.
tracker. Yeah. Mads Pedersen was noticeable difference.
But unfortunately, Uno X, we're all in that stupid getup.
yeah.
But I don't know. We're getting back to fashion and whatever.
Yeah, I mean we can judge blindly and without reason is what I'm saying. You guys have the opportunity to do it.
I've hit this level of this silliness that we've been coming across,
Yeah.
because one thing that has been determined, what arrow helmet works for one person doesn't work for the next.
Right.
But the industry likes to sell the silver bullet. So that helmet that we have to stare at every once in a while, right there, may not be good for me, but good for you. So, but
you saying
that's
I
not
should
what.
walk around with a sock on my head, Paul?
Oh, okay. I'll switch it around.
Would you guys wear that if somebody
If I
handed
was
it to you?
sponsored and pay for it.
If I was getting, yeah.
Yeah, if it was getting, and no. But I'm going to, my take on TT, I love time trials. I've always loved time trials. I like the progression of things. But for some reason this year, I hit a point where I'm thinking, get rid of all TT bikes, all the aero stuff.
Just
it's
mercs it out.
Yeah. And look at the tour. There's hardly any TTs anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't, majority of the people don't like watching TTs. I think it's a great art and I really like it. But when it gets down to like everybody has custom made aero bars where their base bars are probably a good, a foot below
they're
that.
quite high off.
And it's just getting, it's more aero and everything, but it's like, it's not obtainable for people like you and I, unless you leave all that for the triathletes.
Yeah,
They can have all that. Let's just, if no one wants to do a TT,
they can go live on their own
merc
island.
style. They can do whatever.
Yeah.
Like cats and dogs living together.
Yeah.
I don't want one of those because I want to beat somebody wearing one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
With my other helmet, whatever it may be. Like it could be something that's sort of arrow like an Evade or something.
Yeah.
But like I want to beat somebody wearing that stupid thing.
Yeah.
I think the industry's trying to, like, you're not going to win unless you have these things.
Yeah.
And I bet you that helmet's over $500.
Oh, at least, yeah.
And I bought my Aero helmet on closeout for $100.
Yeah.
Because they had their new model coming out, which is more Aero.
Yeah.
And it's like, when do you stop chasing this Aero thing? It just gets insane.
Jackson, your road helmet is somewhat aero focused.
It is, POC's like aero road helmet.
Yeah.
But what I like about that is it's not like so aero that it's like it looks terrible.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
like, what was the? I mean, we Pac and Giro both are friends of the show, but the Giro one with the visor on it, I can't remember what that one was.
Arrow. It was called.
And that one was aero focused for a mass start road race helmet. Yeah.
But I like the look of what Pac does.
Yeah.
Where it is an aero helmet, but it's not like I find it more attractive than the other typical aero helmets that are out there. Like and Specialized I find is an acquired taste over time, but I like their aero helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Like the
Road
Evade.
style.
road style
style
helmets.
helmets.
Yes.
Like the
Is that what
Evade,
you're on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam and I have the Evade, and
Yeah.
I think it's got a good combo of like the basket's great, so it's really comfy on your head, and then it breathes. That's
Yeah.
what you're not getting with.
No.
There's no vent.
Zero
How are you
wind.
supposed to ride that 100 miles?
You're
Which,
not.
I mean, you're
You
not.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a sock in it.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's what I like about a Pac too, is you have enough vents on the front that you still will get those like, Pac shaped
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Suntan.
imprints on your forehead where it's like I've never gotten overheated in mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the worry with an
I
aero
sweat
helmet.
so badly. My head sweats so badly that I have yet to find a helmet that can handle my forehead sweat. And I'm not gonna be the guy who wears a do-rag underneath his helmet. I'm not gonna go to that phase in my life. No, freaking way.
Lose a little more hair in your mind.
Right? Yeah. So I find myself having to constantly press on my helmet and drain it.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do it too, yeah.
Yeah, and I go for ventilation first. That's my first thing, because it's like, hey, if you're going fast enough, it's as breathing as a normal helmet. I'm like, well, I'm not going fast enough. And when I really need the ventilation is when I'm going up a hill, and I'm not going fast enough to get any benefit
and
out of it.
your helmet, you ride a Pac,
Yeah.
but non-aero, so it's fully
Yeah,
vented,
yeah.
and it is technically one of the more aero regularly.
Ventral air, I think is what mine is. Yeah.
Yours is one of the more aero regular vented helmets.
So
on
I
the
got that
market.
going for me.
So yeah,
Right on. Clothing, arm and leg warmers, are they for anything other than staying warm, gentlemen? Yes or no?
no.
They're not for anything other than staying warm. Just wear them for staying warm, not for aerodynamic advantages.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know
again,
Paul's
I
answer.
think we're out of control with socks and
Yeah.
all the aerodynamic stuff. And I mean, it's not even. Was it Van Vleuten had a pair of socks for World Championships that were like $2,000 or something like that, or $1,000? They're custom made for aerodynamics.
The
And
guys
I'm
over
like,
at Silka say they're a benefit. But
yeah. I mean, enough. I mean, at a certain point, it's like, I mean, the average Joe.
Yeah.
Makes me think of tube socks from the '80s, and I'm just like, oh God.
I used to wear a long sleeve skin suit for crits,
Mm-hmm.
like specifically focused at, like thinking it would make me. It's Sam's fault. Sam told me to make me faster. on breakaway.
Don't listen to him. He's
I
getting
know.
a tan, and
But
you're
that's-
pasty white.
That's
Yeah.
different than arm warmers,
exactly.
though.
I love long sleeve jerseys.
Yeah.
Love them. Always have. If it's warm enough to wear them, I will wear them. I
But
don't like my arms.
I've worn them in 100-degree crits,
Okay.
and you spray yourself with some water and you go for it, and it's actually not that bad from a temperature standpoint. But like, I used to always race in a long sleeve skin suit.
I think they look cool.
That was probably the real reason Sam
Yeah.
told me, because I just do whatever Sam said was cool.
Yeah. Arms and leg warmers, especially the arm warmers. Do you fully remove them, or do you go old school and let them sit on your wrists down low?
I'll take them off whenever I get a chance.
ever
But
have- you ever
if I'm
bunch 'em down?
climbing, I'll bunch them down.
Really?
Because it might be, if it's under attack
So
or waiting.
old school badass. I
It
don't
depends
know
on
why
the
I always
time.
think, really?
Yeah.
It would get over the top of the hill, then I'll peel them
Right.
off.
Yeah.
Right.
Skin suits, when to and when to not. Is there a rule you have for skin suits, crits only, or would you wear a skin suit in a road race?
I'm a crit guy personally.
only?
Yeah. I need the pockets. I need a full set of pockets because I have to eat a lot.
Okay.
Depends on.
Some skin suits are now coming with those pockets.
The ones we have though
Yeah.
are not big enough to house what I
you can
need.
put gels.
Couple
That's
gels,
about
that's
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crits for sure. TTs obviously.
Yeah.
Depends on the circuit race. If it's not that long, especially because I'm getting older and they're not that long, so I don't need to carry stuff. And like all I have to do is have a gel in our Panache makes
Yeah.
ours with that. But the team the massive team that I was on River City Red, we had speed suits. It was the first generation. So
Yeah.
it actually, you can unzip and then peel back a little bit, when you needed to climb or something, get some ventilation.
Take a piss.
It wasn't a true or piss.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like they basically sew bottoms and tops together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge advantage for a road race because you don't have. There's something about not having straps on your shoulders. You can still get pockets.
Yeah.
And they are way more comfortable in terms of a long road race. But then like crits, obviously, skin suit or bust, and same with TTs.
I'm gonna go out there and say it. I'm the only one who's overly bashful in a skin suit. I feel like I'm
Way better than
I feel like I'm walking in a skin suit. I feel like I'm walking around like the king is half undressed. The king is undressed. I just feel like I'm just like going, oh my god, everybody.
He's naked.
I'm just like, I feel so fat.
David, do you feel like
I just
way
feel-
buff? Like,
no, I feel like
You
I'm
guys
like
feel
ready
cool?
to f***ing race. I'm
Really?
like, yeah, this is my skin suit. I only put this on when like for
See, I'm
Thursday
the
night
opposite. I'm like,
program.
don't look at me. Don't look. Look at me. My body language. I'm like crunching up right now. I'm just like, don't look.
I don't like walking around in it because it's usually it's cut so
pulls
that
down,
it pulls
yeah.
down,
Yeah.
So then you look like a dork plus
Yeah.
with your cleats and you're like clunk clunk clunk.
Yeah.
But I
don't
mean
wanna
that's not designed
Or
for that.
if you
Once
go
you're
to
on the
pee,
bike.
if you go to pee and you're not completely finished, and
Yeah.
then there's just like
we
a
have,
little
we
bit
have
left.
black shorts though.
I know, but it's
or you get
still
old and your
sees it.
prostate
you
doesn't
can-
function like
you
it
can
used
still
to.
See it.
Yep.
You can still see it.
Yeah.
But it dries fast.
No,
It
I
does,
don't want to be in public in it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to walk around, but like when I'm
Walking through the
skin suit-
grocery store.
Yeah.
or,
What's
like, or even go to coffee.
You got to get some cucumbers if you know what I
Your
mean.
twigs and berries are showing there, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Talk to me about gravel specific clothing. Paul, you can just go get a beer apparently.
All right. Yeah. That's pretty good stuff.
The pockets on the shorts.
I just got some from Sam because
Yeah.
he put on some weight.
Remember this.
Oh!
He's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, sweet.
What was that?
It's a foghorn.
That's what I thought.
Now wait. Remember, this is a guy who you talked into long sleeve.
Yeah. So
skin
he
suit,
also talked me. Okay. To be fair,
Sam tomorrow morning is going to be screaming at his phone like going, I'll kill you!
to be fair, he just bought the wrong size.
Oh.
So I
No, I liked your first answer.
Yeah,
I did too.
I bought them off.
We'll edit that out.
They have pockets and like they've been pretty sweet. Like it is pretty nice to be able to put things there. But I would never do like a traditional road ride in them. Like I'm thinking
Yeah.
mountain bikes, like cross country mountain bikes. Anytime I'm on the gravel bike, that's fine. But I don't know about this like business where people are wearing plaid shirts and like
It's a little
and
much.
bibs. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure about that. I mean, because I feel like I'm always going to be a road guy at heart, and you gotta be in spandex. I don't know.
It's like I've seen somebody with bananas in the side pocket.
That's just
like-
weird.
Yeah.
Double dose of phallic.
Well, I don't have a problem with people wearing flannel and whatever they're comfortable riding with. That's just not my style of bike riding. I'm not going to be. My type of riding is not going to be where a flappy flannel or where I need to stuff things in my side pockets of my shorts. I'm just never going to do that. That's just- or put some stupid dorky thing behind my saddle that sticks way out like a giant horn.
Well, you're not. That's because you're bike packing.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. That's my
yeah.
I find they're right for the like for a specific time, like David, you were saying. You know, I think it's not, in my opinion, not right for myself in a road ride scenario. But let's say I'm going for long distances, like off road. That's when I would go for something like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, I don't own any, and I'm not planning on in the near future spending $200 on a pair of new shorts. So kind of stuck where I am.
I've seen some riders, especially the Unbound Gravel guys, who are doing these 200-mile rides, and stuff like that, and they're just they're stocked with food. I mean, because those Unbound, in essence, you have to be self-supported,
Right.
So these guys are loading up on stuff, and those side pockets do, in some cases, I guess, make a little sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put anything other than like some gels in there, or but I just
I just had a picture of Kramer when he had all those pennies in his cargo pants to go buy calzone.
Okay. So that's okay. Let's switch to accessories. Since we were on gravel, Paul, you can choose if you want. And I know what your thought is already. Bar bags. Yes. No. Why or why not?
I think no. I mean, I've never needed the space.
Yeah.
Just put it in your pocket, like in your back. I guess if you're gonna wear a flannel, there's no pockets in those, so you got to put it in a bar bag.
Yeah.
I don't understand the whole flannel thing.
I don't know. Put it on your back, and I mean, I've just never. It's not accessible.
Let's be honest. The flannel is more of a statement. It's a state of mind. I mean, I'm wearing a flannel right now. There's no effing way I would ever ride in it because it breathes about as well as you know. I don't know, a guy with 40% of his heart capacity, and so it would be just stupid. So, I mean, I understand that they're going for a look.
Yeah.
And
I think the bar bag's a look too, though. Like I feel like most of the time I see it, it's a look.
I've seen some riders who are going like, I'm doing, 200K. I'm going to go out there and I'm self-supported. Like I keep thinking of like, Ted King guy, follow Phil Guyman, who goes out there and does these long rides, and he takes it with him. He's also taking a GoPro with him because he's a self-sustained, mobile camera unit. So those little burrito bags on the front, I guess I could kind of understand.
But every time a frame bag make more sense? It's more aero. Like a frame, like if you're going for a long distance and you want to be efficient, a frame bag makes more sense.
Yeah, but that's going to rub your bike. That's going to kill the paint.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
See,
I'm a fan of them personally.
Paul's just staying quiet.
I own two of them.
Yeah.
I own two of them, two different sizes.
You own a little guy and a big guy. Yeah.
And I've used both. And I have found use in them, especially in like a BWR setting, for instance, because I have such a specific stomach that I can't just take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in 300-degree weather, So I think I found that was good for me. And it also, for like when I'm off road, I don't like all of those things jingling around on my back because then I have to also realize that like, oh, my lower back's starting to hurt or this jersey's starting to choke me, things like that. So I enjoy it for only on my gravel bike or only on my mountain bike, but I will never put it on my road bike.
That was one thing I regretted in my in Belgian Waffle. I did in some of the other long gravel fondos. I didn't notice it as badly, but when you're loaded down in the back of a short sleeve jersey, it's bouncing around, it's shifting, and I hated it. I hated it.
Well, let me, help me out on this.
Is there traditionally, Paul?
Is there tradition what you put in that bag or does everybody have a particular thing that they put in? Do they put their tools in there, or do they put their food in there, or tools and food,
I would assume,
or tires?
I assume it's a personal preference. Now, me, I would probably in that. I don't know. Some people put the easy, accessible food that they can grab and eat while they're riding. Sense. Some people are going to put tools in there so they're not bouncing around in the back of your jersey.
So they're bouncing in front of your face. You're going to hear that.
They are very well secured.
They're pretty well. They're pretty secure bags. Yeah, mine is a little burrito bag too.
Well, I'm talking about the tools themselves.
Yeah, they're bouncing around.
See, I do put tools in mine because I don't prefer to carry around the big heavy tools in my back. I prefer to keep the light food that I can reach easily. I don't have to unzip it or anything.
Yeah.
So that's what I use mine for.
But don't you use a seat bag for your tools?
Yes, but in a long distance event, I prefer to have both.
I don't.
So,
I didn't put a saddlebag on. Yeah.
I put a saddlebag on because I kept one tube in there, and that's all you can really fit. But then I also put another tube up front, all of the tools I could possibly need on that ride.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be prepared. Like, let's say I get one flat. What if I get two?
Yeah.
And so that's what my mind thought it, or my mindset is throughout it. Yeah.
I'll just throw it out there. If I had to do like a 200-mile ride, I think I would set up a seat bag with tools in the back.
You'd wonder what bet you lost first.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay.
I did something bad.
Okay, yeah.
We're doing it this summer. We have one.
No, not me.
I am.
But I put my tools in the back, so they do have a tendency to make a little bit of noise.
Yeah.
But my food, because this is, especially like Unbound, you don't really want to, you're going to stop enough with flats and everything else and get water. I would put my food in the front
That would make
And-
sense because
yeah,
you're grabbing it as
constantly
you're
grabbing,
going.
and
yeah.
it's there, and you don't have to stop. So
And that bag gets lighter as you're going, in essence.
yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
that's how I would look at it. But
Yeah.
to put like the big front bag in the front and nothing in the back does not make sense.
Yeah.
Because you're steering and control, that weight does play havoc on you.
I give you that.
I mean, from what I've experienced of all of the rides I've done with one, I've never experienced like a steering difficulty.
No, me neither.
Yeah, and
Now, I remember seeing a video of Wout last year going on a super long road ride and putting one on the front of his bike. So, there you go.
I worry about the paint on my road bike.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You would
just
never
keep it away
put-
from me. And
Right.
I'll scratch
I
it
know.
again. Yeah.
I know.
How about I gotta jump around. Socks, proper length and color. Anybody have a do's and don'ts about socks? My proper length. I used to be super short. I mean, I grew up in the 80s racing bike
Anklets.
races. Yeah, they were just above the ankle bone. And I didn't switch until pretty damn late. And now I'm probably lower calf. The begining of the calf.
That's
I'm
a
not
6
gonna
inch.
go
That's
any higher.
typically a 6 inch.
Is that what
cuff.
that is? Yeah, I don't know 6 inches.
Just a second.
That's like way above average, right? Like
That's huge, right?
Yeah,
that's
like-
super long.
that's like superhuman, right, guys?
That's 6 inches.
He puts
It
his
is.
thumb out.
From here to here.
Oh, I thought you just meant your
it's
thumb.
these. It's
It
these.
is. It's from here to here.
I just thought you meant your
Because
your thumb. I'm
in
like,
the electrical
Jesus.
business, we always keep 6 inches outside of your box of your conductors.
So many jokes I want to make.
What do you think I'm directing it this
Yeah,
way?
yeah, yeah.
But
Thank
anyway, so you have your electrical box, and if you're doing like outlets and
Sure.
switches, and you want 6 inches, and I measured, and that's 6 inches.
Well,
There you
okay.
go.
There's something other than that, but that would be gross if I put up.
Do you
more.
guys have a color preference? I mean, I've taken pictures of pink socks that I've had, and Paul's just like going, "Don't ever ride with me with those socks."
I think
Well, they're not just pink. It's like there was a battery
they are
pack
neon.
on there. Yeah, they are.
neon.
You know.
Yeah. I think for a length, I will do mid calf. That's pushing it.
go up high there.
That's
Okay,
well,
yeah.
and our new panache socks are a bit higher.
Paul's got Popeye
Paul's-
calves, so they don't. Nothing goes
Hey,
up
it's
over
baggy.
it.
I
He'd
can't
have-
get
Paul's
yeah.
got a sagging issue,
Yeah, I do.
but that's
No,
not
it's
just
not.
the socks.
Yeah.
His socks are sagging. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's in the water again. I'm just taking a poo.
But I'm not opposed to too many colors. I'll do a black and a white, maybe a gray here and there.
They
Yeah.
match, right?
Yeah. I'm not doing mismatched socks. That don't get me started there. That's a pet peeve of mine. Mismatched socks, you're a
Yeah.
psychopath.
Yeah.
The EF kit
Yeah,
with the
that's
mismatched
wrong.
That's
socks.
different.
Are you okay
That's
with that?
Well, that's different.
Because it matches up top.
Exactly. It's of the kit.
Okay.
If
okay,
it's like
okay.
if it's like you're wearing like your child sock and then like a knee sock, like you're a psycho. You should be checked into a psych ward.
You have a standard white jersey, black shorts, and SpongeBob socks that are crazy colored.
Yeah,
You'd
like
say
there's a
no.
place in hell for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
Sam,
Okay.
Wasn't this
pretty
what Sam
passionate about
said
that.
he was like makes some unreasonably mad unmatching socks.
Does it?
Oh,
Isn't that what he said? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's more about him that's being revealed tonight.
It is.
that
We're
I
Yeah.
just
just
getting a
don't
whole
like
scoop
him.
on Sam.
Yeah.
That's what I'll call the show. Scoop on Sam.
Scoop on Sam.
We have to say it on the show to officially announce our stance. Over or under tight / leg warmers for socks.
So, what? That's a question?
Yeah.
It is.
No,
Unfortunately,
I'm
it
afraid
is.
to answer. Your leg warmers go over your socks.
Okay.
Can we all say that we are
Yeah.
100% in agreement?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is not
Because-
a question. Do you put your socks over your pants?
I know it.
Yeah. only if you're going door to door spreading the word of God.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is
Right, brother Josiah.
I didn't say any specific religion. Notice how I did that. Yeah.
well, leg warmers are designed so if it warms up, you can take them off. Well, now you created another problem.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
peel down your
Okay.
socks, and
Okay.
it's just stupidity, right?
Yeah.
there.
That settles
And
it.
plus, your socks get filthy that way.
Exactly.
If it's bad enough weather, you need to wear leg warmers. then you don't want your socks to be filthy.
This is obviously a two-show topic because
Yeah.
I have like I'm at item 5 out of 14, and we still haven't got to.
You
any of
might
this
as well put your leg warmers over your bibs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the-
Yeah.
But did
Hey,
the
wait.
shoe covers go over the top?
Yes.
Of the
Of the
Of
leg
the leg
warmer?
warmers
Yeah.
or the tights?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because that's something you take off first,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't it be? Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually leave mine on.
And
Yeah.
you would
I get
want
that.
the water. No, never mind. But yeah,
'Cause
I
you
always
would-
put the shoe covers over the leg.
See,
warmer.
the thing is,
No, I
that's-
put.
See, that's the
Shit,
crazy.
what do I do?
That's the crazy thing, though, because you find out when you have.
I'm questioning
We're all
my
getting-
whole.
Oh, Sam's
Yeah,
live
Sam.
tweeting.
Oh shit!
but-
Sam's listening.
I think because I did face the issue while in Portland that I had my Velo toes over my leg warmers, and Velo toes are specifically meant like designed so you get no water inside. However, I did get water inside because they were over the top of my leg warmers.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking of my like
Complicated.
my neoprene thick ass shoe covers, and I always put them over the leg warmer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I do that too.
Okay. God, I'm confused. I'm questioning my own existence now. Eyewear, Paul, you're not an eyewear guy, which scares the shit out of me. But should there be different types of glasses on different types of road surfaces? Do you guys switch it up? Like if you're going for a mountain bike ride, do you wear a different pair or anything like that? You know, brought to you by Gooder.
Yeah, I have a road, like serious road ride pair of glasses, and
Yeah,
those
yeah.
are the bright green ones that Gooder makes. And then I got a rowdy pair. That's what I
Rowdy.
call them, my
Okay.
rowdy pair. And those are like teal and pink and gold.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Paul, you're just like screw it on everything.
Yeah, I use them for podium.
Okay.
You know, well,
there
that's
you
about
go.
it.
We
Yeah.
put the
Yeah.
logo across.
And the
lenses.
reason I don't wear glasses, I used to have remember Rudy Projects?
Yeah.
I used to have like 3 different colors and stuff, and I liked them a lot, and they fit, and they were light.
Mm-hmm.
But I trained a lot without a helmet, and it's just kind of a bit of a faff taking on and off your
Okay.
helmet and glasses, and they ended up breaking once, and then I never, because I'm cheap, I'd rather buy a tubular than another set of glasses. So then, I got used to it. And there's only one incident I do remember. I thought, well, maybe I should wear glasses. And it was a crit down. There was a stage race down in Lewiston, Idaho, and in a crit, a chunk of asphalt came up and hit me in
Did
the
ya?
eye.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was able to catch it. And it was actually, did the like a
Like
monocle.
a hero catching
and I'm
a
like
fist.
doing teammates. Look what got me in the eye. And they're like, dude, we're doing like 30 miles an hour. Yeah, but look, it's crazy. And I wanted a picture.
Did you buy your Rudy projects at Costco's?
No,
I don't think there's an S at the end of that.
Rudy. Well,
I had
Rudy
several
Project.
pair.
You're right.
Plural.
Yeah.
Rudy
Okay,
Projects.
okay,
I
Did you
I
find
had
it on
3
the
or 4.
Facebooks?
Yeah, I found it on the Facebooks. No, I had 3 pair of
That was
Rudy.
good.
Rudy
Nice.
Project.
Calling you out there, old man.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's right. So-
I feel like everybody should wear glasses though. Like after a while,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like a lot, but air can cause slight abrasions, and you're complaining about this blurry vision all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's called old age.
Well, that's
That's
a
the point of
convenient.
no return.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If I wear sunglasses, I'm going to have to get subscription.
I have 12 minutes
Because-
left in the podcast, so
Oh.
we got to go rapid fire.
All right. Ken.
Speaking of shoes, what color of shoes? Go, Jackson.
White.
They have to be white?
Yep.
Paul.
White or black?
Yeah, white or black.
White. I don't like hot feet.
Oh, okay. See, I am white or black, but I'm starting to buck the trend, and I'm going back to black.
I kind of like colors.
The Dark Knights, man. I'm starting to go back to the
Yeah.
Dark Knights.
I almost got a pair of blue. Well, I do have a pair of blue.
Yeah, and with the color of my legs, not a good choice. Not a good choice. Bike lights, yes, no, and if so, when?
Yes,
How
at
often?
night.
That's at night. Paul?
Yes, commuting.
Yes, commuting.
Rear bike light always. Might as well.
You guys do rear bike lights.
Yeah.
You guys both do. I just hate the ones that are like beep beep boop bop beep bop bop. That are constantly chirping when you're in a group, and
The
everybody's
one
like going.
Sam just got.
People are like, going, oh, does it? And is it
It-
just chirp when there's a car
It
back
didn't
and shit
chirp,
like
but
that?
it like flashes differently, and I distinctly remember those from our ride across Bellingham because I thought they were going to give me a seizure. Every
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
a car went by, there was like 3
Oh.
guys with them, and I'd be like, Everybody's lights would start
I
flashing.
did. I
It's
did.
like watching anime or something.
Yeah, I did the Midnight Century, and I was getting pissed at people in their rear tail lights. It's just like going, stop it. Just turn them on and leave them on solid while we're in a group. Don't try to hypnotize me.
Flash.
Yeah,
Flash.
yeah.
Flash.
You know, I 30 miles with these guys, and I was believing the January 6th was an inside job.
Where's my tin foil hat?
I'm just like, you told me. Yeah, I was losing my shit. So anyway, where am I? Brake levers. Okay to go in for aero? Would you guys manipulate your brake levers to go in? And
No.
the second question is, would you go up for comfort, or like Paul and I, do you go flat for old school and just go full Sean Yates and just wait till the wrists create such horrible, arthritic hands that you're just walking around like going, arms for the poor. Yeah. Brake levers.
I used
You
to
tweak 'em?
I used to have them flat. Sam moved them up a titch.
Yeah.
Not that much. So it looks pretty much the same,
Yeah.
but it feels the world of difference. No, I'm not putting them inside.
Mine are in. It's when I had a bike fit from Sam, he told me to put them in.
See,
And that
that's-
was before it was cool.
That's out of necessity, not out of arrow, though.
I know, but people are going to think I'm a douchebag now.
Well, you can tell them.
Well, more than normal.
Okay. Glad we got that straight.
Would you alter him, Paul? You're so old
Well,
school.
here's the thing. I actually got rid of my first time carbon bike had durace and their hoods.
Yeah.
The very first generation of STI, they went up. I had to get rid of them because it kinked my arm up.
Sure.
The way I ride. So SRAM, I went to SRAM and their hoods aren't so bad. But now when I have to go to disc
Those
brakes,
reservoirs on top of
the
my
thing is,
SRAM
I
are
think I'm going to
horrible.
have to turn them in a little bit
Yeah.
in order to put my hand in the position I'm used to riding. Otherwise, my wrists are going to be kinked up like
You
this.
bend those suckers in, you can have a puppy paw spot.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, you look at Taco Vanderhorn.
Yeah.
He really, and the other one is Kapanart.
Yeah. Yeah.
They both take them way in.
They,
Yeah.
Plug for Sam. I think just whatever you should get a bike fit because that's a huge source of upper extremity pain and wherever they set them. Don't do it for aero. Don't do it for whatever. Just do it wherever it's comfortable.
So
Mine
now
are-
that
mine are in.
now that you know he's listening, you're kissing his ass.
Yeah.
No. But that one's actually big because shoulder pain's huge. That's
Yeah.
a neck and
Yeah,
shoulder
yeah,
pain.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that you shouldn't do that for looks.
Next item, hair. Are we okay with the tuft, the Pogacar hair tuft sticking
It
through the
is what
helmet?
it is.
Yeah.
How about leg hair? When do you go out on a ride with long hair, leg hair, and suck it up, or do you
Ever since
shave?
Sagan did.
Yeah,
It's
I've,
a preference.
I've been known to dry shave
Wow.
before a ride to hide it from my leg warmers because
Shaving them dry, huh?
yeah, it hurt like hell. Hurt like
use
hell. But
Nair.
I would not go out
Just using
with leg hair.
You did it for the ladies. Let's face it.
No, actually, I think I was riding with Glenn Copus, and I was just
really?
like going, I don't want him to give me shit. So I was just like,
I think it's a preference, to be honest with you.
really?
The real reason I stopped shaving was because my wife asked me to.
Really?
It's too pokey when we were laying down.
Really?
At
So you
night,
don't
yeah.
shave your legs at all now?
I haven't shaved my legs in 3 years.
I don't. I don't in the wintertime.
No, I
Yeah,
have to
neither.
take in what this man just said.
Yeah. I know.
Really? How
Yeah.
about arm hair? Any of you guys trim the
No.
arm hair?
No.
Really? I do. I have
Do
to.
you see any?
No, I have to. These arms are manscaped
You're a
little
fucking
bit.
gorilla.
Well, exactly. I have to.
Sorry.
If I don't, people are gonna think I'm Clyde from Every Which Way But Loose.
That's another old movie.
That got you on that one.
Really old movie.
This is orangutan
Right
people.
turn, Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was my left hand. How about bikes? Aerofocus or weight weenie? I know Jackson's an Aerofocus.
Yeah, I have an arrow bike, so
Yeah.
that answers my question.
Paul, Aerofocus
I lean
or
towards
weight weenie?
light because I have problems going up hills.
Yeah.
And
Your bike scares the shit out of me.
it's light.
I am too.
I go light and comfort.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
aero
do
is
too.
never comfortable.
I do too.
Not true.
Me too. If Spinergy wheels came back and they were faster, would you ride them? This is a judgment call.
I don't know what really that is.
It's like a bladed
a
spoke, like a carbon
force
fiber
spoke.
bladed
Oh,
spoke.
Yeah.
Tri-
no.
It's like a tri-spoke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a four-spoke one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just basically imagine the fans that any jailbreak scene is occurring and they're trying to jump through it at a specific timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Negative.
You guys wouldn't do it. Okay.
No.
Okay. When you are riding, do you focus on aero? Do you focus on comfort and power? Do you actually? Let me just screw that. Do you train in the drops? Does anybody like specifically go into the drops to train? Paul, you do.
Well, yeah, and I was sitting there thinking about even when I'm on the trainer, like because we've been locked in because of the stupid weather, that I have to be conscious about the speed I'm going and the effort, because it's easy on a trainer to be upright. But that doesn't translate on the road.
No.
And CP is the one that kind of brought that to attention. He was so used to watching on Zwift when he's doing that, and he was actually so strong when we did a couple of, you and I did, and CP did a race, and he was absolutely strong. We went on the road, and it was completely different. And I think some of that is, if I'm doing 30 kilometers or more, I purposely make sure my hands are in, like on the hoods or down in the drop.
Yeah.
Because realistically, if I'm putting that much effort and that speed, I want to kind of mimic that. So, yeah.
You guys all?
Even on the road.
Hoods, or like, to me, the drops are for sprinting.
Yeah.
Because you're more aero, and roughly your back's in the same position on the hoods if your bike is fit correctly. So
I agree.
And it's more comfortable.
I'd say probably 70% of the time I'm in my drops. Maybe even more.
In the drops?
Yeah.
Okay.
I ride I would honestly say predominantly in the drops. That's the most comfortable place for me, I feel like. And I get the lowest when I'm in the drops, that's for sure. But it's also just like a comfort thing for me. That's where I feel the best. So
I used to be a drops guy because I had a coach who would make us, honestly, if it was a 4-hour ride, 30 minutes in, he would say hands in the drops, and you would have to be in the drops for 2.5 hours.
53.17.
Yeah, in our training gear, 53.17.
Yeah. See, every time it's some sort of a competitive thing or a racy thing, which is every time that we all ride together, I'm in the drops. So I'm always in the drops.
I've found myself, the more I ride with you guys, the more I find myself getting much lower. And it's probably because I'm slowly dying, and I'm just the back muscles are giving out, and I'm fading away from the bars.
But it's faster.
Yeah. It is faster. Okay, last question before we get to Ask Dr. David, and we got to do this because he's got a dinner reservation. Do you judge fashion, and if so, do you keep it personal, or do you bring it attention? Do you judge people on the bike? Do you judge how people look? I do, but I don't do it out loud.
I think it's human nature to judge, so of course I judge, but I keep it quiet. Yeah. It's to me.
Man,
I hate all this bullshit of people like going, "Hey, teach their own. Don't judge people." I'm like, you fuck off. There's my one F word, because I'm like, you judge people. You totally judge people. You just keep it to yourself. Don't be an asshole.
I have to say, in the past, I definitely did, but I don't even care. I don't care anymore. Really? I really don't. I don't care what it.
So if I show up tomorrow in neon pink socks,
I'll rib you, but I really don't. Honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, you care.
No, I don't.
You care. I know you care.
I mean, when I was younger, I'd probably pee on your leg, but
Whoa.
But it's not. I'm not to that extreme anymore.
Well, I understand.
Okay.
Let's switch gears to Ask Dr. David with our short amount of time left, and this one came through. For a long time, juniors were put on gear restrictions, claiming it was for the proper development of their knees and their joints. It has since been taken away by the UCI. Dr. David, do you believe this is a proper decision, or will it affect junior joint growth? I got to ask the panel first about their questions on this, because Jackson, you kind of have experience in this.
Yeah, and I think it's stupid. If I'm going to screw my knees up, I'm going to screw them up, and I already did.
So you think the gear restriction is stupid and it should have been lifted?
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily necessary. So that's where I'll leave it.
I'm going to say I don't think it is for junior joint growth, but I think it is good for teaching proper spinning technique. That's my only thing I would ever defend it for.
I would agree, and I think, but I'm sure there's some people that pushing a big gear would be a problem, but that becomes a coaching situation.
Dude, you can hear me walking up a flight of stairs. I sound like a gravel road.
But even everybody develops in the junior years. I mean, think about when you race at 14, they had 14-year-olds that are shaving, and they had 14-year-olds still talking like this. I mean, everybody's different. So, and I think that is where a coach.
Talking about my glory days, you asshole.
What, when you're talking high?
No, I was like, let's go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I said, I think personally, it's not necessary.
Because isn't cycling technically a low impact sport?
Yeah,
on the joints. So really.
So first thought as a cyclist was the form thing.
Yeah.
I do think that's important. But then like if you're looking at it from protecting their joints or whatever, I think the thought is that you're protecting them from high impact exercise while their joints are developing, which I've never seen anything to suggest that is an issue. And actually, like I looked into this recently because you guys told me about this question, but the Mayo Clinic in Stanford, 'cause I don't see kids, just so everybody knows I'm an adult doctor. Mayo Clinic in Stanford, they are totally okay with kids weightlifting as long as they're supervised, which is, so that's what the restriction is getting at, is that like high intensity, high strength training. That's what they're trying to avoid with these high, the like 5311.
Yeah.
And even your top medical clinics in the country are fine with kids doing that kind of exercise as long as they're supervised, which means have a coach and watch their form and don't let them pedal around at 40 RPMs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get the kid an 11-17 straight block and Victor Campanart's front chain ring.
Oh.
62.
Wonderful.
62-11.
I would have loved that.
Push that, you little shit.
Or go home.
God, I'm so sorry. I didn't intentionally
I know.
make eye contact with you when I did it. Wow, Daddy's got issues. Okay, there we go. We've all learned something. And there we go. It is, hey, we did it right on time. I did have the final question, but we'll save that one for next time because I want to start talking to you guys about mechanics and trying to figure out
Is Sam going to be here then?
No.
Oh, good.
God,
Thank
I
God.
hope not.
Okay, we're safe.
Yeah, he's getting his tan. God, you know what? And I was the guy who said send pictures, and then he sent pictures, and it just makes me want to
He's a
cry.
bastard.
Just makes me want
he's
to
a bastard.
cry. Yeah. So thanks everybody. We kind of went bang 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 with shows here, at least 2 in a row. So that's bang bang. And we will obviously be back next week with another show. There we go, and it'll be the day before I get to get propofol and the electric paddles to my heart. So it'll be the last day where I'm going to complain. That was a joke. I complain all the time. Thanks. Like, tell a friend, subscribe, check out everything at packfiller.com. Catch you next week.
Sam, you're slow.